Hey there, Cheyenne, and everyone else over at Pacific Beach Med Spa. This is Brian Murphy from Leadhounds, and in this video, I'm going to show you 3 things that you can start doing to bring in more customers through your website. So, you might be asking yourself, well, why is this guy showing us this stuff for free? Can't we just go do it ourselves and take advantage of the extra business? And the answer is yeah, you absolutely can do that. But what I've found is that most small businesses don't have time to worry about perfecting their website or uh, showing up on Google searches. So if you do have time, that's great. I encourage you to use what you learn here. But if you don't and you like what you see, just give me a call or shoot me an email after you're done watching and we can talk about the next steps. Okay, so I mentioned those 3 strategies, but what am I actually talking about here? What is the goal of those strategies? And that's going to center around what's called buyer intent keywords. And that's basically a word or a phrase that someone's going to search when they want to purchase a service. So in the case of Pacific Beach Med Spa, I went with an example of Botox San Diego, right? Because I know you guys offer Botox and other injectables, and Botox is just really popular right now. So went ahead and searched that in Google, and here's what we find. So we have a couple of paid ads, right? Pay Google money, and they'll put you up here, but the data shows that most people just skip these. Only about 1 to 3% of people click on those paid ads. Then we have a map, and finally the organic listings, right? This is what we want to focus on here because this is where most of the website traffic goes when people search for stuff like this. And up at the top, we see a few of your competitors: SD Botox, Grossmont Derm, La Jolla Cosmetic Laser. So we can scroll down and look for Pacific Beach Med Spa. See if we find this on the first couple pages. So there's the end of the first page. And now we're getting towards the end of the second page. And yeah, so you guys aren't showing up on the first or second page for this. And what that means is that all the people who are searching for Botox San Diego are going to go to these websites instead of yours. And you got to ask yourself, well, how many people is that, right? How many people are searching for this, and do I even care? Well, we can actually take a look at that. This is a tool I use called Ahrefs. It gives me search data. And right here we can see that keyword Botox San Diego. And we see that this actually gets 1,400 searches every single month. If we go down this list, San Diego Botox, Botox in San Diego, there's another 1,900. There's thousands of people right there that are searching for Botox in your area every month. And that's just Botox, right? We could get a similar list for all the services you provide. But if you're not showing up on Google for these keywords, then nobody's going to come to your website. So let's take a look at the keywords you are showing up for. So I went ahead and searched Pacific Beach Med Spa on Ahrefs, and here we can see your keywords. We'll just sort by the position you show up in. So right here we can see you're coming up at the top for Pacific Beach Med Spa, PB Med Spa, and Dr. Jerry Thrush, right? So that makes sense. These are your business name and the owner of the business, the doctor that runs everything. You want to be showing up for these, but these are likely not brand new customers. These are people that already know about your business. Maybe they got referred, maybe they're a repeat customer. So that's good, but it's not a new lead, right? You want to be showing up for those buyer intent keywords to get all those brand new customers. So we can start scrolling down this list and see if we can find any of those in here. So SD Botox Pacific Beach, there you go, you're on the first page for that. So that's good, but there's only 50 searches for that, right? We want to be targeting those thousands or hundreds of searches keywords. We've got a couple more for Pacific Beach, that's good, but again, that low volume. And as we scroll down, we're getting to where you're in the 10th or 11th position, And that means you're on the getting towards the bottom of the second page. And to be honest with you, nobody scrolls that far on Google to find a business, right? You click on something on the first page. So you really want to be on that first page. Well, let's take a look at one of your competitors, SD Botox, right? We saw them coming up first for that keyword before. And as you can see here, there it is, right? They're in the number 2 position. If we can look at that. I thought I saw them in number 1. Yeah, there it is, right? So it's the maps coming up first, and then there they are in the first organic listing. So go through all of these keywords, and they're in the top 2 spots for all of these. And that means they're going to be getting the vast majority of the website traffic that comes from these searches, right? And they're all buyer intent, because you can see people are looking for a specific service in a specific place, right? That's what makes these so valuable. Okay, so how can we beat out SD Botox for these top positions? And that's going to come back to those 3 strategies that I mentioned at the start of the video. And the first of those is going to be the content on your website, right? And by that, I mean literally the words on your website. And what Google wants to see from its top businesses is between 1,500 and 2,000 words of content that actually uses those buyer intent keywords or the targeted keywords, right? So if we look at your website, pacificbeachmedspa.com, and scroll down, we can take a look at your content. You know, the website looks pretty good. You can tell what you guys do, but there's not too many words on here, right? And of course we would want to clean up some things like, I don't know why this is popping up. But in terms of content, there's not too many words on here. So let's take a look at your competitor, SD Botox. Okay, so you can see already they have a good bit more content on here. All right, we'll keep scrolling down to the bottom. Got a little more there. And, you know, they have more than you guys, but they still definitely don't have 2,000 words on here. So that's actually a good thing, right? That means that they're not going to be too difficult to beat out. Okay, so let's move on to a second thing. And that's going to be what's called backlinks. And a backlink is basically when another website posts a link that goes to your website. And what that does is it tells Google 2 things. Number 1, that you're a legitimate, credible business, right? Because if other people are talking about you, that gives you credibility. And number 2, it tells them that you're relevant to whatever those linking websites are talking about. So if you have backlinks coming from, a blog about medical spas, then that's going to be more valuable than just a random backlink from some like video game blog or something like that. Okay, so we can see here that you have 43 backlinks, right? 43 referring domains, which means it's the website that linked to you. If we go over to your competitor SD Botox, we can see they have 575 backlinks, right? So right there you can see one of the main reasons they're beating you out for all these positions on Google. They have way more backlinks. And what we can do about that is we can go in here, go through this list, and we can get a backlink from every single one of these websites. And that way we're going to be matching their strategy. And on top of that, we'll add 100, 200 more backlinks so that we're not just matching them, but we're just blowing them out of the water. All right, so that's backlinks. One more thing I wanted to mention is what's called the Google Maps section. You saw this before. I'm sure you've seen this a million times. You search for something, business or a service, and this little map pops up, and you have your 3 featured businesses right here, which looks like it's all SD Botox. They're just hogging the whole spot. But these are going to be super important because these actually get a high percentage of the clicks from searches like this, right? They get like up to 30%. So you really want to be in one of these top 3 businesses. And how do we do that? Well, one of the main strategies we like to use is what's called citations. And a citation is basically like a backlink, except instead of going to your website, it goes to your Google Maps profile. So what we can do is we can look at what SD Botox has in terms of citations and do the exact same thing as with the backlinks, right? We can copy all of those and add twice as many as they have. And on top of that, we can go through and make sure we're optimizing all of the images you post on here, making sure you're responding to reviews, and making sure you filled out all the different fields on your Google Maps profile in the way that Google likes to see. Okay, so those are the three things I wanted to talk about. Again, that's the content on your website. 1,500 to 2,000 words using those important keywords so that you're beating out your competition. Then it's backlinks, right? Making sure you have just as many and then way more backlinks than your competitor so that you can start to beat them out for those top spots. And finally, that Google Map Pack, right? Just getting you in these top 3 featured businesses so that we can take advantage of that extra traffic. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope it was valuable to you. If it was, just give me a call or shoot me an email using the information here, and we can talk about the next steps. All right, thanks.